same exact time.
Is this just to cover up the fact you forgot your paper cutler?
Yep.
Okay,
We're given
welcome
one
everyone.
task. One task.
One
Paper and a
task.
Sharpie.
Okay,
And what did
stand
you do?
by.
You forgot
Stand
both.
by. Quiet on the set. Going live. Welcome everyone to Boston Media Makers. I can't do it right. Oh. Welcome to the virtual Boston Media Makers, and it's fun to see everybody here. This is really makes me feel very happy to see everyone. Everyone say hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Stay home. Stay safe.
Okay. Does everyone have a piece of paper?
Yes. Do we need a pen? I don't have a pen. That's the problem.
Okay, you can be a space.
Well, we have our Sharpies. That's right.
Oh, it's got to be a Sharpie,
Hey.
too. Give me one moment.
I'm a Sharpie. What are we going to write?
Well, it can't be anything with more than like 9 letters.
Four
No, you-
words, right?
You can scramble it.
Oh, you can do words.
Yeah.
That's what we were going to
Oh
do, Cutler.
gosh.
Everybody
I
does.
thought
the
you were going to do a letter per person.
Yeah, and then you kind of make a word up, but the things keep
Well,
shifting around all the time. So it's
Oh, they
Don't
do?
even- What are we doing, really? Like,
a word scramble.
Robin, you know how people
It's like
hold
when you're
signs?
at a stadium event and people have those cards
Oh,
that turn
that's
into a
good.
picture.
Hey,
This will turn into a message.
Let's
Okay.
do this. Go
Good news
Patriots.
is you don't have to be able to spell for this.
Jeff,
Okay. I got a pen, but not a Sharpie.
I see
Tom Brady. Oh,
I
okay.
see 14 squares. So why 9,
You're
Jeff?
all frozen.
Yeah.
Well, it was 9 at one point. 5 more people came in.
Okay.
How about we all, let's do this. Let's all write down a word on our papers without prior planning.
All right,
And
hold
then-
on.
And
I'm gonna
then-
get paper.
And then I'll say 1, 2, 3, and we'll all hold them up, and it'll be either really good or a huge failure.
is it Mad Libs, like nouns or verbs or whatever?
Oh, Robin.
No, just whatever you want.
Yeah.
All right, give that
Just a single
instruction
word?
again. What are we doing?
One
Just a
single word. Yeah.
or a phrase.
One single word.
I gotta get
Serena,
some-
hi.
I gotta get some.
Yeah.
Hold on.
All right.
No, not ready yet.
You can't get the cap off. There we go.
Oh.
Problem.
Oh.
Which end
Yeah.
do I use? Which end do I use? I don't know.
What's Jeff doing?
I'm writing.
Jeff is writing on the ceiling.
You're writing on the ceiling?
No, I'm gonna write on this piece of paper that's on the wall.
Are you in an
Wants to
attic?
bleed Through,
Oh, we
Jeff.
just
No,
have
I'm in
a-
my I'm in
we
my
have a
office.
Phone on the table. He laid the
Oh,
phone
I
on
see.
the table. Yeah.
It's just the office, but I was on the couch earlier. So hold on.
Sorry, I kept running out. There were things coming out of the oven.
Oh. Maybe you need an
Poor planning.
exterminator.
What's that?
Maybe you need an exterminator if things are coming out of the oven. That doesn't sound good.
A Dutch apple pancake.
Ooh.
That does sound good. I'm coming over.
All right, I'm ready for my screenshot.
Oh, we just
Okay.
pulled up?
Is everybody ready?
I don't
Yo.
know. I did
Jeff
not have a
Cutler.
Sharpie. I know I have one here somewhere.
All right.
Everybody ready?
We won't be able to see it if we put it fully on. So we
Oh,
just
okay.
have to wait
I
for.
can put it fully on.
Well,
Yeah.
it's all right. It'll look
Let's
better.
see. Okay, let me try with the blank one. Yeah, you can't, oh, you
Yeah,
can
we just do that.
You want it? Okay.
That's too
Right.
small.
All right, we ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, it's gonna be
Oh, it's backwards.
backwards.
Backwards. Why would you do this?
You have to have the mirror setting turned on.
Oh, what?
Hold on, let me
that's
get to my
so
mirror setting.
Silly.
Video.
Where's
It says
the-
mirror my video.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it says
mine
mirror
is-
my video.
I have no
Okay.
idea
hold on,
how to
mirror my
do
video.
that.
Okay.
Mine
Where's
says
that?
mirror my video. Am I
It's
supposed to be
still
turning around
backwards.
or not?
Where's the mirror video?
Yeah, where's the mirror of my video?
Go
It's
to
the
the
name is
carrot
funny.
next to stop video,
Yeah.
then go to your
Okay.
video
So does
settings.
mine look backwards?
Mine looks
Yeah,
backwards
mine
to me.
does.
Does it look backwards to
Does
you?
it look,
No,
does
Is it
mine
up?
look backwards? to
Hey,
other people?
let me look at them all.
Yeah,
They
now-
all look forwards to me.
Do they?
Okay,
Mine looks
okay.
backwards to me, but you know.
All right,
No,
so it's
fine.
correct then. It's going
All
out
right,
correct. It's
One
just-
more screenshot. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me get
Hang
my.
on. Don't get out.
Wait, Gorp, I
Nelson,
can't
you a
see it.
space?
Can't see Gorp. Oh, there we go.
Nelson, you a space?
I'll be a space.
All right.
Hang
I
on.
ran out of ink.
Nelson, don't you have a marker? I can't see yours.
I ran out of ink.
Oh, all right. So let's talk about our words. Baruch, you go first.
Why we first? This is why I picked that word. Stuff like this. Well, actually, it's been a while. I'm going to wonder now. I'm like 90% sure I got the right definition. But consternation, I was just kind of thinking, well, what word am I going to say? And
What word did you say?
consternation.
Consternation.
Feelings of anxiety or dismay, typically at something unexpected.
That's today.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I picked hello because it has a little smiley face, and that's me today. Bruce,
I picked love because as we're together with our husbands, wives, partners, whatever, it's you got to keep remembering this because 24/7, 365 days a year. So it's a challenge, that's why they invented work, so you could go away, So it's important. It's important.
that's a good one. Heidi,
Crazy. So working full time. I have an 8-year-old I'm trying to homeschool. Husband's left in the house as well. Very small confines, and dog is continuing to hunt and kill things in the backyard.
Nice.
But we have fresh meat.
Dave,
I went for fatigue, which is basically how I've been feeling for the last 2 weeks. Is I'm tired of this, really tired, and I'm getting really antsy. And my beloved Tash has always said, "Oh, Dave's quite happy to stay at home for a while," and I am. I'm quite happy to be inside my 4 walls, but with no real option to go anywhere and do the things I like doing, which is concerts and sitting in a bar and just chatting and playing cards. All of those things are, I'll put it this way. Jeff knows this already. I was getting very, very bored of sport, and particularly of my football, because it's shit and it's been awful, but I would take shit and awful over anything now, because I cannot keep turning on NBC Sports and watching classic Premier League games from the last 15 years. Because
Hey, I was listening to the Tottenham Chelsea yesterday.
Yeah,
You guys,
4-4. I
you
was at
guys
that
won
game.
5-1.
Right. No, there was a 4-4 yesterday, and I was at that game, and that makes me feel immensely sad that I was at there showing this as a classic. So that's what it's
Wow.
fatigue for me.
Well,
That's
at least
what
you're not
I
a
am.
Manchester fan. Isn't that going to be like really bad this year? Was it Manchester Liverpool? Which one was the one that one's going to win this year before the
Liverpool.
Liverpool, they'll still win.
Yeah, they're going to
the
get.
association's strong? The association, it's either one of those two. Their
It's not
association's
meant
strong.
to-
And
yeah,
CBS is running golf.
because that's all you know. I'm not going to get into a
Classic
discussion
golf.
on Zoom about you people don't know about football.
NBC is soccer and CBS is golf. They're just running, games from, 1920.
From the past. Yeah.
My husband was
before-
watching hockey before they had helmets.
Oh.
before we go to
There,
Jeff,
yikes! I didn't know that was a thing.
I did the
Yeah.
movie Slapshot.
Oof.
That definitely did it.
in the last Zoom, I took a screenshot, but people said we weren't smiling enough, so I need a smiley thumbnail. So let's all give us a wave or a smile, and I need one more screenshot.
I've taken my mask
Oh,
off.
wait a minute. It's the mirror. Oh, hold on. Yeah, that looks more natural.
Oh,
All right.
it's mirrors, so you can't.
I'm,
Did you get a word in edgewise, Jeff?
What do you mean? Like that? Or did you want me to say something?
Yeah, what's your word?
Well, when I look at it, it's backwards. So I don't know if it works for you guys.
It
Works
looks
fine,
straight,
yes.
Yeah.
So, OCAT. OCAT.
Okay.
Oh, I see it as taco.
Taco.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's taco.
So why am I seeing it differently than others do?
Because it looks backwards to you yourself, but everybody else in there.
No. I'm reading
Everything
Jeff's
for
fine.
everybody else.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So the reason I did taco is because taco cat is spelled the same backwards and forwards. And you don't know if we're coming or going during this whole quarantine.
There you go. Palindrome.
Yeah. Good.
So taco cat.
Mhm.
I have to write that down. Okay,
Mhm.
Rich.
But that's easy. Just remember taco
Okay, I'm going to try it.
Cat.
and cat.
Aw.
Aw.
All right, Rich, what's your word?
My word's gorp. And that's because
in Prague.
all I'm thinking about now is food. And well, that happens to be the food that came to mind when he said write down a word. But food seems to be big for me right now. I'm doing a lot of cooking and messing around in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So food and gorp.
Okay.
What is
Bobby.
gorp?
It's like trail mix.
Trail mix. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I
It's
thought
like
it
an
was
80s word.
That was like an RPG, some old RPG.
It's a
Let's
hippie
play
concoction in nature
Or
food
the
restaurant.
world according to
Nature
Gorp.
food
I was
store.
like, I've never heard of that food group. Which one?
No, it's being
Steve's laughing at least.
Put it in a little plastic bag.
It's
and
Garp, I know.
Grab it around in your VW bug.
All right, Bobby, what's your word?
Smart.
Ah.
Because right now I'm cohabitating with two seniors, a high school senior and a college senior. And they're wicked smart, and I don't know what they're going to be doing next. It's missing graduations, missing all those senior things. They both got homeschooled. And Liam will be out seeking a job, hint, hint. And Owen is still trying to figure out if he's even going to go to school in the fall.
I can't believe Liam's a senior, man. Remember when he used to tell me he was like this kid?
Yeah, Bruce, I'm old. Thank you.
I think I saw him when he was tall. I think I first met him when he just stopped sprouting.
I want to know what courses you taught him for the past month. for
I
his
didn't do a
senior
damn
year.
thing.
Who was doing the
Big
homeschooling?
I
There
wish.
is no
I
homeschooling.
wish.
That old? Yeah.
It's called
I get-
self-directed learning, Jeff.
No, I wish.
Yes.
Not
There's
so much
the
for
computer.
8-year-olds.
Go learn something.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
mean, Owen's been taking prep classes for the APs, which are going to be held online. And his teachers have all been like putting assignments online that are due later in the week. So, I mean, every once in a while, my office is where the printer is. And so every once in a while, my printer sprouts paper and it's all kinds of math equations coming out of it. So I think they're teaching him actually there's something. And I know there was a bunch of German stuff going on earlier. So at least German and math he's learning. And I think there's other things too. But yeah, no, oh my God, I am so thankful that I do not have small children. My heart goes
me
out
too.
to you.
Every day.
Oh my God.
Every day.
Every day.
One of the people who works for me has a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Oh,
And I talked
no.
with her on the phone one day. We talked for about like an hour and a half. And the whole time it was, mommy, 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 can I do this? Mommy, can I have this? Mommy, and I was like, and at the end of it, my brain was about to explode. And I'm like, and she's like, oh yeah, it's like that all the time.
Yeah.
Constant unmet needs.
Yeah, 8 is not too much
Yes.
better than that. I will tell you honestly.
I mean, the 4-year-old literally never stopped saying mommy, mommy, mommy for the entire hour and a half I was talking to her. I was like,
Yep. I remember those
wow.
days, and I can't imagine doing it now.
I can't
even
either.
I
I
can imagine
really
like
can't.
one of them plotting with the other. Okay, they're on the phone. We may begin.
That's right. It's exactly how it works.
Yeah, I've done a few conference calls with people that are in that situation. There was one of the senior VPs from Microsoft when I was on the phone with him. The whole time, like obviously there was a small child, and every once in a while the child would like pass through, through the camera field,
Mhm.
and it was like, woo, what was that?
Yes.
But no, my kids are mostly, it's just fighting with them over the bandwidth.
Did you want to come in and say hi? Speaking of that,
I was
Nicholas?
trying to get Liam up to say hello,
If
but
you're going to sit there in the background, you got to come say hi.
Come on. Hey, there he is.
Hi.
Hello.
He interrupts all my meetings now. I don't know why he's being shy. So,
That's the way to do it.
We're talking
Force him
about
to-
him.
Force him to get in there.
It's like, here, take notes.
He's setting up his alibi for the next
Put him
time.
to work.
You have no proof it was me.
Yvonne.
Steve, I have to ask you a question before you go on to the next person. Are you doing it in order?
Yeah.
As you see them? Interesting. Okay, because it's
Yeah.
not the order I see.
Oh, it's not.
No.
I know.
It's totally different. We experimented with it at the company. It's
Yeah.
totally different for everyone.
My order
I
is
don't know why.
that, Steve. That this is matching my order. Your order is my order too. so.
Yvonne's next.
Oh, good. Well, I just put down music because I have the radio on in my bedroom. I can hear the music of the Beatles coming from my bedroom while I'm doing my Zoom meeting.
Nice.
Great. Nelson.
I was gonna write flower before I ran out of ink.
Poor Nelson.
Nelson, were you on mute?
I was listening. I was gonna write flower for a flower bakery. I had a wonderful breakfast from them. You can order and pick up, and all the proceeds go to supporting the workers. So I just wanted to give them a shout out because it was a good breakfast. So thought I'd give them a plug.
Oh, that's nice they're doing that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can pick it up at their location in, I forget where it is. You can look it up near the Innovation District. And you just drive up, they have a table outside, they drop off the food.
It's basically on the backside of the Children's Museum.
Yeah. And all the proceeds are going directly to help their workers. So
Yeah, same thing for Villa Mexico Cafe in the financial district. I keep giving them a shout out because they are in the financial district, so they're not like the local corner neighborhood local thing because there's nobody who lives there. But they're basically trying to keep all their workers.
Okay, Robin, welcome back to Massachusetts.
Thank you very much. I'm glad the weather finally broke.
Loved your show.
Oh, yeah. We caught some shit for that about Violet got embarrassed, publicly scolded in Baltimore at a rest area because she didn't have a mask on, because every state we went through had different rules, and we just ran in to use the bathroom, and then she decided to get in line, and they were like, you have to have a mask on. And a kid her age, he handed her a napkin, and he made her hold it like this to place her order. So unfortunately I caught her on video saying, I can't believe him. And then people thought she was resisting the mask when she was just mad because she got embarrassed by a boy her age in public. So whatever. It was fun being locked in a car with her. Anyway, she may make an appearance. I saw her walk by, told her to join us. I just thought it was a random word. I came up with this word, and then I realized what a great metaphor for what we're going through, because I actually am really enjoying this. I'm being super productive, and I'm really, I hate to even say it out loud, so don't hate me for it, but I'm not feeling any frustrations or pressures right now. I don't know why, but I've been able to get things organized. I've been able to do things I haven't been able to do. I feel relaxed. I'm exercising. I'm enjoying everything. And a pineapple, I think, is a kind of thorny on the outside. I don't know whoever thought it was food, but sometimes I think you look at something and it looks like, forget about it, it's just too hard to handle, but then you open it up and there's a lot of benefits to it. And I think there's a lot of benefits to this time right now. I think it's necessary. I think it's an opportunity. I think anything you have in front of you, it is what it is. It's an opportunity, and we can make the most of it or we can make the worst of it. So that's my feeling about it. It will end, but then when it ends, are you going to regret saying, oh God, I could have done all this when I was in lockdown and I didn't do it? I don't want to have those regrets. So right now I'm doing all those things that I always wanted to have time to do.
Can I just ask the group a question? Has anyone else noticed, is anyone else realizing just how much we spend on stuff that we don't actually?
Yes, so much.
I went to Cappy's Liquors in Medford yesterday and I spent $150 on essentials, alcohol and biscuits and stuff. And it was $150. I can't even remember the last time I spent $150 in a liquor store. And then I think to myself, that's actually, I spend $150 on an afternoon watching sport, sitting in Tony C's, doing whatever. I wouldn't think twice about spending $150 on less alcohol than I bought yesterday. And if anything comes out of this, it's my realization for me, wow, I spend way too much money on ride shares. I spend way too much money on takeout, on doing things which you consider to be normal because we don't have access to them anymore.
Well, you know the Stones song, you can't always get what you want, but you can always get what you need. I sang that to Victoria when she was 2 years old, and then we played this game of what do you want? What do you need? Shoes. Well, there were a lot of gray areas, right? There's shoes you want, there's shoes you need. And I think this is a good time to play that game right now. Like, what do you really need? And it's a lot less. So I hope we all connect those dots because we need to stop this overconsumption and this economy that needs us to be consumers. Hopefully that'll change.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the flow there. It was just a thought that came to my head.
Oh no, it's my turn now.
Great. Beverly, hi.
Hello. So my word was sunny. I'm kind of into the idea that this weekend's been like really gorgeous after so much rain. I think sunny helps whatever situation we're in be better.
Absolutely.
So I'm like thrilled. I'm going to take a walk with a friend this afternoon, so it's all good.
Sounds good.
So that's kind of my thing.
Selena, hello.
You're on mute.
Sorry. It's so nice to see everybody, my old Boston faces. Hi, Bobby. I see Bobby, Rich, Jeff, Nelson, of course, Steve, that I remember. I'm in Cape Cod, and my word is community. So, it's really nice to see this old community, and thank you for inviting me, Steve. I drove across the country. It sounds like Robin had an adventure as well. I drove across the country on March 11th from San Francisco. And I was actually waiting for Adam Zand, whose birthday is tomorrow, by the way, in case anyone doesn't know.
Wait, not Adam Ant from the 80s.
No, Adam Zand, a friend of some of ours. He was going to fly out and drive back with me to the East Coast when all this was happening, and he wanted to go visit Sawyer first. And I was like, I can't wait that long. He didn't understand, like, in California, this was happening a lot sooner than it was happening on the East Coast. So I was like, this sense of urgency, like, look, I want to go. And he wanted to do a road trip and do all of these things. I'm like, no, it's going to just be straight through. And eventually I was like, I'm just leaving. And I got in the car and started driving and drove by myself across the country. And speaking of, like, the differences, I was horrified state to state to state for different, different measures were in place. And it was just sort of unfolding at that moment. But driving across the country during a pandemic by yourself in a car my car that was in San Francisco is old. It has like 130,000 miles on it. And so I made it, and I've been isolated here on Cape Cod since. So, but the thing is that it was really, really crazy. And for example, I was in Gallup, New Mexico, I think on March 12th or 13th. And I stopped there, and as I went across the country, because people were in different moments, I was able to collect a lot of things like Lysol and wipes and things that were sold out in California. And as I went across in Gallup, New Mexico, I bought some Lysol kitchen spray. And yesterday I heard on the radio that Gallup, New Mexico is a hotspot, and they've like locked down this town. But when I was there, I was horrified because I had to go to the bathroom. It's really hard to find a place to go to the bathroom when you're road tripping, and it's clean. And there were lines out the door in Gallup, New Mexico. I went to Starbucks. I went to Burger King. I went, everywhere. People were like massively lined up all over the place, and I thought to myself, "Wow, I can't believe this is this is like this here." Men were walking out and spitting all over the place, like, hooking a loogie or whatever you call it. Disgusting.
By the way, that's never okay.
Yeah,
Ever.
Never. In the pandemic of 1918, they were arresting people for that. So I saw these people, but they were just like, at this point, they were clueless, like they didn't have any idea what was coming. And now yesterday I hear they are completely a hot spot, and I was like, I'm not surprised, because I was horrified. Like, I never went to the bathroom. I got in the car and I drove to Albuquerque before I went to the bathroom. So anyway, community has been really key for me, because here on Cape Cod I'm by myself, and I've been connecting to my communities in New York, Massachusetts, California, and it's just been really lovely to have, we've all been online for a long time, but everything is available, and that's creating a great sense of connectedness and community, even in this time where we're all isolated. So I'm really appreciating that.
Great, nice.
Selena, maybe your word should have been brave.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Risky.
It was terrifying. And in the end, Adam was glad he did not come, so, because it would not have been fun at all. It was nonstop driving.
Yeah, Ari, welcome. We did this thing, I think you saw, we were going to hold up a piece of paper with a word on it to start. So we're all going around right now introducing ourselves and saying what our word was. So if you want to just say hi, I'll call on you.
A word, just any word?
Yes.
Well, except for like 13. There's like 13 words that are off the table now.
And poop. You can't say poop.
Okay.
My word is paradise. Do I need to explain it?
You do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or not, he doesn't have to, but.
Especially that word you need to
Oh
explain.
no, he has a
No,
PowerPoint presentation.
Paradise. So I just started reading this book yesterday. It's called A Paradise Built in Hell. And it was written about 10, 15 years ago by Rebecca Solnit. And it's basically all about how she investigated a lot of disasters around U.S. and global history in recent years. She looked at 9/11, she looked at Hurricane Katrina, she looked at the San Francisco earthquake and other such disasters, and how in each disaster, communities have built around the disaster. So you look at, today, I live in Newton, and within the past 5-6 weeks, about 3,000 people joined a Newton Facebook group about Newton Neighbors Helping Neighbors. So people go shopping and they post messages on the Facebook group about, well, I'm going to Costco, can I get you anything? And then people are Venmoing money and stuff like that. People are being altruistic right now, wherever I look. And, even just restaurants, offering curbside pickup, even if they don't advertise curbside pickup, but if someone calls them and says, well, I'm going to order from you, can you bring it out to my car? They'll say, yeah, of course I will, because it's money for me. So the word is paradise.
They also don't want you in the store.
Right. But that's a normal Midwestern thing, by the way. But for New England to move the needle on that is a remarkable miracle.
Yeah.
My younger
it's
son
really all
works at
about, as the author lays out, I'm only a couple pages in, but as she lays out, she talks about the book of Genesis, of how Cain killed his brother Abel, and God asked him, what did you do? And Cain says, it's like, what am I, my brother's keeper? And that's kind of the premise behind her book, which is that we are all our keepers of our brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay, great. Diane.
My word was Sunday. It's a new week. I'm happy for that. It was a good week last week, but it was an exhausting week last week. I had a keynote in early April that obviously didn't happen for 80 cardiologists, 80 with electrophysiologists. They put in pacemakers versus transplant hearts.
So we did a virtual conference on Thursday, and I learned more than I ever want to know about the production of a virtual conference. And my living room looked like it was a production studio. It was pretty amazing. And
What
we had
platform did you use?
technology. Sorry?
What platform?
Well, they did it on Teams.
Okay.
And they had a 12-minute video fail in the middle of it, which was a bit disruptive in the middle of one of the women cardiologists' keynotes. And we had pre-taped our keynotes ahead of time, so at least that, you know, we had some backup stuff. But it was very exhausting, and we had done so many dress rehearsals and things like that. It was very interesting to see the production. And Bobby, I'll message you, because if people want to get pushback on, you know, oh, it's virtual, you should charge less. It's actually, you should charge more, because it's a lot more work to do.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of 50% offers.
Yeah. I've been hosting something called the Tuesday Virtual Cafe on Tuesdays at 12:30. It's where I have a speaker, and then we kind of do the Zoom breakout rooms and then come back. And this past week, my speaker was a woman who was on Survivor Nicaragua. And she and I were speakers together at a conference in Iowa a couple years ago. And she spoke about resilience and dealing with difficult people and coming back. Jimmy Johnson from the Miami Dolphins was on her team. And then when we did the breakout, we came back and somebody said, Diane, somebody in our breakout room is a COVID survivor. So we had a chance to hear a firsthand story about somebody who was on a ventilator for 11 days at Mass General, and 55 years old, no others, you know, very healthy, athletic. No, she's not even on aspirin. And so it's just really interesting and amazing to hear her story about really being at death's door and then coming back. So this is an inconvenience for many, but boy, it was pretty amazing to hear that story.
Wow.
Do you know what, if they gave her remdesivir or what treatment she had?
I don't. She may be my speaker on my Tuesday Cafe. I'll post it in the Boston, in the Media Makers Facebook if she is. She's kind of thinking through, you know, sharing that story in a bigger way, because it was kind of a smaller group, but it was really remarkable to hear what she went through. 55 years old. Her mom's 94. Her sister had died 2 years ago, and she just knew her mom could not lose another daughter.
Wow.
Yeah, my clients that were on the Diamond Princess actually are working on their book. So their book is coming out in the fall.
Yeah.
It's not Carl, is it? Did you read
What's
the
that?
blog of Carl, the guy who was on the Diamond Princess, and his wife, and then he was
Yeah.
in the...
No, it's Phil and Gay Quarter.
Oh, okay.
So the New York Times bestselling novelist and her documentary filmmaker husband.
Oh.
Like, you couldn't ask for better clients if you want to do major media stuff.
Yeah.
Or worse customers if you're on a cruise and things going down.
Yeah.
But that was Chris Cuomo, you know, from CNN's comment. He said, you know, the disease, and everybody says, you know, to lay down in bed and you're just going to lay out. And his comment was, he said, get up and get going. Like, no matter how sick you are, he said, fight that desire and just keep standing up, keep getting up, keep going. And don't sort of lay down and go, okay, like we normally do when we're sick. We just go to bed and lay down. He said, do the opposite. And it made a big difference for him, he said, in his recovery, to just like, fight it and just keep sitting up, getting up, standing up, doing whatever he needed to do. So
I also want to say, I want Chris Cuomo's basement at some point in my life. Pretty swank place to live.
He's renting that house.
Oh, is he?
The rental. Yeah.
That's right.
I like Jimmy Fallon's house with that slide.
I want a slide in my basement. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that house is nice.
I haven't seen
Who's the
that.
one
Have you
that
been there,
has
Steve?
has the door in the attic?
Not yet.
I know
That's level 3. It's level 3. Steve's doing level 2 right now.
I am talking to him about, you know, improving his audio, video, lighting, and they are.
Seth Meyers.
Lighting is a lot better now. They improved that, and they did do one experiment with a teleprompter, but the problem was he was looking at, if this was the camera and if I was Jimmy Fallon, he was going like this, and he was looking over here, and that's what you saw on TV, and it was very unnerving. Made me feel very uncomfortable because he was, let me read the jokes for tonight, and I was like messaging him saying, please don't use that teleprompter. Like, look, go back to reading off, the paper, and they did that. But I don't want to get into it right now, but some of the guests, like John Hamm was on Jimmy Fallon Friday night, and he had a window behind him. It's very dark. It was like, then he said, I know I shouldn't be, with a window behind me, but whatever. So sometimes they don't care.
Witness to protection program.
Maybe. Okay, so we're doing really well. Actually, I forget if I made this for 1 hour or an hour and a half. So let's move along to show and tell, if that's okay with everybody. And I have one that I'll go through real quick just to show you this thing that I found. And so one thing with the quarantine is we haven't been able to babysit my niece's kids, which we did once a week, and we really miss them. They miss us. And one thing we would do is read to them. And so I miss that, they miss it. And the problem with reading books online to children and putting it up is they have copyright protection, and you really can't do that unless you get permission. So I was looking for a way to read books to the kids, legally. So I found this site, and what I'm gonna do is try and share my screen here and show it to you. See if this.
Couldn't you do it by Zoom? I mean, nobody knows.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can't you do it without?
Yeah, I could do it privately. So here, I'm going to show you what I found, though, because anybody can use this. And I'm clicking a button, clicking share. So you guys see this?
Sharing is happening. Yes.
Okay. So this is a site called Storyweaver, and it's from India, and it's storyweaver.org.in. And there are, let's see, 20,000 stories on here. All different kinds, science, nature. Some of them are read aloud stories where a voice will read along with the story. And let me get to the bottom. Well, I won't show you that right now. Anyways, I'll just tell you, everything is Creative Commons 4.0, which means it's free to use, and you can use it commercially. And you can do whatever you want with it. You can remix it, and you just put the Creative Commons 4.0 license on it. So if you want to look at one of these stories, you click on it, and the story comes up. And so what I've done to start is, let's say, so you can read the story, and then you can also translate the story. So people from all over the world are translating these stories into their own language. So and they're all doing it for free. And that's a really cool part about it. So for me, I found a story. Let me just pick this one right here. Click to read it, and it pops it up. And then I use QuickTime Player on the Mac, and I record the screen in the audio on the screen. And then I start recording, and I will read along. So I'll change the page. So I'll start recording, and then I'm recording this little square. I'm like, hello, everyone. Please welcome our new student, Robu. And I go click, 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 read it all. And then when I'm done, save it. And then I put it up on YouTube. I put it up on Facebook, and I put the Creative Commons, all the licensing. If you go to my Facebook or YouTube, you can see it. So that is, really cool. And I'll just show you one more thing over on my dashboard.
Steve, another story place is called Storynory, STORYNORY. Also has tons of kids' stories on it too.
Isn't there a year in which, like, if something was published before 1900 or something?
1923.
1923. Because there are so many great stories that I think you could. There's also that website for adults where you can just upload your audio reading novels. Remember, I think we talked about BMM years ago. It's like Ad Lib or something's in the Does anybody remember that?
Are you talking about reading for the blind and dyslexic?
Well, it may be that, but it was a giant database of just regular people audio recording and reading novels and any books. And I don't know how they're able to do it copyright wise, but it's a vast database. And
yeah, reading for the blind and dyslexic is all recorded books at the request of people that are blind and dyslexic, often for college classes. My husband did it for years, and they have deals worked out with all the major publishers, including textbook publishers, to read books specifically for people that need audiobooks for school.
So here's the most recent story I did, and I was having trouble keeping track of all the characters because it's an Indian story, and all their names were hard for me to keep track of, and I knew the kids were going to have trouble keeping track of it. One thing that the site recommends is keeping all the foreign names in there so the kids will learn about other cultures, you know, so they want them in there. But in this story, I decided to change all the names. So I took all my cousins' names and I put them in the book, and I picked.
That's nice.
So the puppy's name's Brady, and then she told Nolan, she told Rowan, she told Hayden, she told Mason, and these are all the kids in the family. So I'm sharing this with all the parents so they can read the stories, but actually I narrated it too. So
were you able to change the names in the file, like on Storyweaver?
Yeah, you click on translate and it gives you the original, and then it gives you your version, and you can write whatever you want. So at the end of the story, I showed it to Carol. I'll just go to the end here. And what happens is the girl lied to all her friends and told the kids at school she had a puppy, and they all wanted to see it. And when they got home, this puppy turned up, and the girl says, the puppy loves bananas, and the kid says, I told you, didn't I? And so then Carol's like, that isn't a good story because she lied to everybody. And then when the kids came to see this mysterious puppy, the father actually bought her a puppy. So I added, later that night, Maya's dad sat with her and said, it was a coincidence that dog was delivered today. Don't think that lying is the right thing to do. If you lie again, that dog gets returned to the breeder. And then Maya says, I'll never lie again. Thanks, Dad.
Oh.
I'm glad she didn't say the dog likes chocolate, because that would have been far more tragic.
You're adding moral stories to the and moral lessons to the stories.
Yeah. Carol's like, what's the moral of that story? The kid lied and she got a puppy. That's not right.
And the dog is coincidentally called Brady.
Oh, I did that.
So if you lie again, Brady has to live in Tampa for the rest of his life.
I should have called that dog Gronk.
Hey, Steve, this is important. Did you use different voices for each character?
No, I didn't. That will probably be the next. That'll be next on my list of things to do. On the first one I did, I was narrating it and I was reading it, and it was a male voice. And then I saw a woman talk, and I says, "Hey, Carol, come here, do this woman's voice." And she's like, "No, I don't want to narrate that." I'm like, "Come on over and do it." So all that's in the book.
That's awesome.
Well, that means that the stand-up comedians I know could get a hold of those books and do some things that might not be child-friendly.
Actually, it was the first time I clicked on YouTube, the Made for Children button.
Yeah.
So, all right, so that's my show and tell. Anybody else bring anything?
So I'll do mine. I was going to talk about books like I always do, but after listening to what Robin said about being productive, I'm going to so I went through for 4 weeks, being that we have lots of time, and went through all of my password lists. All of my
thanks for showing them, Bruce.
Yeah, screenshot that.
Put that down.
Blow it up.
It's like, it ended up being, it's like 200. It's like, when you're in business, or we have a lifetime of these things, is to go through everyone, find out what are the usernames, the passwords, how much you pay, and when it's due, which shows up on your credit card. But, as Dave was saying about how much money we spend, it's very eye-opening of how much money we spend on things we don't use. And you can.
Oh my God! How about URLs? I've been paying for URLs for 15 years that I haven't used, that I don't want to give up.
This is a great opportunity, but it took about 4 weeks to go through that big stack of papers and the notebooks with all your internet stuff and clean all that up. It also makes it easier if something happens, somebody else can figure out what your life was like. But so that's I feel very accomplished that I finally fixed that. And now it's all in one spot in one file. So.
But did you do the thing where you have a unique password now for every?
No, I haven't done that. It's enough just to get this written down.
Yeah. I would highly recommend 1Password or some sort of other password manager.
They charge for that, right?
I use
They
LastPass.
do, but it's worth every penny. It is so great.
Okay, I've
LastPass is
heard
a
that.
free
I've
version.
heard that from many people, but you guys are the people to ask. What's the difference between that and Keychain on Safari, which saves them and across
It's
devices?
independent.
Yeah, Keychain is tied to the laptop or the computer. You lose the computer, you get screwed. But if you
No, it's in
lose
the
it,
cloud.
in
Cloud. I use the Google one.
Well,
I use the Google one, but
It's
I
in the
use
cloud.
1Password.
Yeah. So iCloud is just tied to an Apple device. So if you need to access the password on a device that is not an Apple, say PC or a tablet that's not an iPad, then you would have a challenge getting that out and sending it across. Something like 1Password or any of the other password managers can share that across platforms. So that's the only advantage. Yes, the iCloud keychain is fine if you're all Apple.
You can also have LastPass fill in other things. So I have it so that it fills in my name, and I have different identities based on what I'm doing. So I have 3 companies. So I have
certain
Bobby, who's the
assignments
founder of this
overseas.
one. I have Bobby, who's the founder of this one. So often I'm choosing which identity of which company.
Fighter
Yeah.
on a
which
007.
protection, Bobby.
See, I kinda
And
have
then
this,
the
like,
one she can't tell us about, or she'd have to kill
But
us.
anyways, it's very eye-opening, and it's a nice way to use this time to be productive and clean up something that's been bothering me for years. Going, I gotta fix that and gotta get
Yeah,
this under
that's
control.
huge.
That's
I will
great.
tell you
Nelson,
that
did you have
LastPass for me
something?
has a vault,
Oh.
and when you go into the vault, it will actually tell you how many passwords of yours it is saved, and mine is over 3,000. I would
Wow.
hate to be managing those like any other way.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I mean, if I use 1Password, and the other nice thing about 1Password is it will tell you if there's any passwords that are shared between multiple accounts. It'll also tell you if any of the passwords that you've got have been hacked, and so if you need to go and change them. So if you just want really basic security, the keychain thing works fine. But if you want to sort of put on your tinfoil hat and go sort of the next level, the password managers have features that Apple never built in.
Yeah.
Rich,
And I'll
that's a
just give
great point. I think that hat will go awesome with my mask next time I go out in public. I might just do that.
And I'll just give a plug for Bitwarden. I started using Bitwarden about 2 months ago. It is an open source password manager.
Bitwarden,
BIT Warden.
like a warden at a jail.
Exactly. I use Bitwarden for passwords, and I'm using Authy, AUTHY, for two-factor authentication. And I actually connect the two together.
I use Authy also. It's a very good program.
Hey, Nelson, did you raise your hand?
I did, yeah. I actually have to get going soon, so I wanted to share. This is what I brought. This is a sort of prototype of my book that I'm writing. This is my autobiographical novel.
Nelson, hold it like this. Very still, and make it beautiful. Yeah, there you go.
I'm just trying to show you. This is only the first quarter of it, so it's not the whole thing.
Waking from
what's that?
the title. What is it? We can't.
Waking from Innocent Dreams.
Cool.
Did you finish your film?
The film is still in progress. The editor's sending me cuts every week, so that's coming along as well. But this is sort of the project that I've been working the most on. And my goal at the moment is to get a manuscript draft done by November, Thanksgiving timeframe. So, but I finished the sort of first quarter in a manuscript form, and I've been sending it out to friends and family and getting.
Congrats.
And so far, lots of good feedback. Everyone seems to be enjoying it, and some great ideas about making some of the characters clearer and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's exciting to kind of be this far, and you kind of see that light at the end of the tunnel. So, however long this pandemic lasts, I am here in my writer's cave, just working away.
That's great.
Yeah. So,
welcome.
All right,
Skip.
everyone. I got to take off.
Oh,
but it
bye,
was
Nelson.
Bye, Nelson.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Stay safe.
I gotta
Stay
head out
safe.
as well. See you guys later.
Bye,
Okay,
Dan.
bye.
See you, Diane.
Steve, I can go next.
Oh, okay.
I don't have anything to show, but I have two things to talk about. One is a podcast called Poetry Unbound that I just heard. If you haven't heard it, it's exceptional. I'm a total podcast junkie. And I've never really understood poetry, and I feel like after the first episode, I'm all in. So it's a guy from Ireland. He reads a poem, and then he talks about the poem, and then he reads it again. And oh, there's my precious baby. Oh, Violet. And then the other one is there's a guy named Dana J. Bine who's local. He's a stand-up comic, but he also teaches at Improv Boston. And he wrote something called the Coronavirus Rhapsody, which is Bohemian Rhapsody, but he changed the lyrics. And he's getting a lot of traction on it. If you haven't heard it, I just want to let you know he's a local guy. He's awesome. And you should listen to it.
I saw that.
His name's Dana J. Bine.
I saw him.
A Coronavirus Rhapsody. It's really, really well done. Yeah. So anyway, that's it. Next time I'll bring something that I can actually show and demonstrate.
Very nice.
Oh, well, this isn't this part, but I just want to tell you the idea that I have in 60 seconds or less that I want to execute on. I want to do a home shopping channel with Violet where we get rid of stuff, whatever objects we have, and we sell it to the public, and we can take barter so they can pick it up on the porch. But I'm going to start getting rid of this giant attic basement situation I have going on. My nest is empty, but my attic and basement are not. So
yard sale tube, I guess.
yeah, it's yeah. But I want to make it really fun. Like each object is precious, and I want to really sell it with some comedy. And I've asked Violet to collaborate with me on that. So that's going to happen at some point.
There was one guy who sold everything he owned on eBay, and he had a blog post about it and photos and a story. And then the people all bought the things, and then he traveled around the country and interviewed the people in their homes, what they bought of his and why.
Oh my God, that's so much work.
Yeah.
Wow. I would watch that, but I would never do that.
I hope he sold some really embarrassing stuff.
I had to go find
Why
that.
did you buy that? Exactly.
I had to go find that guy.
Wow, yeah, I would love to watch that, but
It's
oh
like
my
the
gosh.
guy that sold his paperclip and ended up buying a house. You know, remember he sold it and he kept trading up, and eventually he got a house out of getting
What?
rid of
Yeah, he started with a paperclip and traded all the way up.
paid it all the way up to a house. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's good
my,
stuff.
My show and tell is very, very quick because it fits in again with the realizing that I've got too much crap. So
it's a great theme.
A few weeks ago, I started doing a thing. I'm posting every day on Facebook, me in a different T-shirt for every single day. And it started about a week after I got locked down. And I thought to myself, I'll never get to the end of it. I've got about 700 T-shirts.
Oh my God.
Possibly more.
I didn't realize you meant you didn't repeat one.
No, I wear a different T-shirt every day, and I've been doing it since March the 13th. And I have piles behind this lovely football stadium behind me that you can see. I've got boxes of T-shirts that I never wear. So each week, so I'm doing 7 days. So each week I'm doing a theme. So this week has been gaming. Tomorrow will be Star Wars. I'll do 7 days of Star Wars T-shirts.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Do they have any value? Any of those T-shirts?
I don't know. I'm just doing it. But one thing, and I'm realizing, is that I'm a little bit more impressed with influencers who do this every day and post multiple times, because I I find that the whole choosing a t-shirt, sitting down, taking a picture, loading it, hashtag, it's immensely tiring and exhausting.
Exactly.
And I've given up on Instagram. I just do 7 days now, all in one hit.
And does anybody care?
I don't know whether anyone cares.
Might care tomorrow. Monday's May the 4th.
That's why I'm
So you really want to make that your best Star Wars shirt.
Oh, there you go.
Think
Okay.
about how much money you spent. If those were $15 a piece, that's $10,000 in T-shirts that you.
Oh my gosh, Bruce
Who
is doing
pays
math.
for T-shirts?
I am
Okay, you forgot about Goodwill. Then it's like
I
5.
can't tell you how many boxes. I've got boxes of books that I've been going through in the base. I have got thousands and thousands of dollars of useless crap that I don't use.
You might need to be a guest on my home selling network. I'm
Yes,
just trying to come up with a name.
main seller.
Hey, just hold up different stuff. Today's T-shirt.
can do it.
Tomorrow's book day. The next day is crap on shelf day. Just
Yeah,
make
I'll
it
bring you on.
interesting.
I'll
Seriously,
just
look at
bring
this.
you on video as the guest.
It's a tiny football figure. Why do I have this?
You're a candidate for
grown
hoarders.
man.
I'm sorry. Now that you have bobbleheads too, you're
I've
hoarders.
got bobbleheads. I've got rubber. I've got.
Take that green screen
got
off. We
rubber
want to
duck.
see what's behind you. We want to see that place. Is it about to fall on you and suffocate you? Are you safe?
I've got a space shuttle plush. Why have I got a space shuttle plush?
Oh my
Why do you have a plush? Why does anyone have a plush?
Exactly.
Now, David, the question is, do you have any toilet paper?
Yes, we do.
Well, yeah, it's the plush. That's what he uses.
Well, he has
It's
700
soft.
T-shirts
You
just in case,
Rinse and repeat.
Staples has toilet paper. I ordered a case from Staples. You just call them up. You just order it and it comes. You get like a case. You don't even think about it.
Wow.
But is it good toilet paper, Bruce?
It's
Because
the kind you get
most of us are picky.
It's there.
It's the kind you see in your dentist office. So
Oh no.
Okay, Bobby, what is your show and tell?
I was hiding my jumble sale behind me.
What is that thing? Is it a broadcasting from home screen?
Yeah, it's called a modal, and it's designed actually for at-home workers.
Is it strapped to your back, Bobby?
No, it's
Oh,
actually
'cause it's moving with you.
Well, I was trying to position it because I must have moved my screen because usually when I move so it's in pieces, and it's got little like wooden things that hold all the pieces together. It fits in this really glorious bag.
How much is it? And does it come in a green screen?
Good question.
You can
Comes
paint
in
it
this
green.
glorious bag, which you can. It's basically for people who work in co-working places.
How is it? Is it hooked onto your chair, or how? What's
No,
the
it's on the
base like?
floor.
Fans.
I know we're making you. I know.
So I'm
Well, it's show and tell. So.
What's
This
it
was
for?
actually not my show and tell, but
Oh, okay.
I'm getting embarrassed.
I guess
by
the
by
illusion of
conversation.
privacy.
It
So it's like
actually is
a,
made of heavy felt.
Oh, so can you attach Velcro to it? Because that would be cool. That you could Velcro a sign, like
Oh,
your
there you
sign
go.
on there.
Like none of your business. What's behind this?
Work sign. You like your company sign on Velcro. You just put a Velcro like poster on there.
Yeah, so you can actually put push pins into it. But it's for
Steve moved away
people.
from this picture.
Yeah, it's for people who work at co-working spaces and stuff like that. It's like a privacy screen.
So
for
now we'll be
behind you.
carrying our own plexiglass screens with us, so you can see the.
It's like
separating
an
ourselves in
instant
our office.
cubicle wall.
It could be cubicle wall. It's your own cubicle.
Yeah, it is.
Oh
It
my
really
God,
is.
Steve! What the hell? Steve,
Did you
where
notice
did you get
Les?
that?
I saw you roll away.
Did you order that?
No,
Oh
Bobby,
my
you should
God.
put that on the other side of your wall.
virtual
If people are
workout.
looking at your wall, you're like,
So that it looks like you're actively listening.
yeah.
That is awesome, Steve.
Oh,
that's
10
when you
forward.
do
I mean, sorry, the bridge.
The bridge.
Yeah,
Yes.
the bridge.
That's right.
10 forward's the cafe. Bob's
But
Burgers.
so the modal comes from Remote Nation. RemoteNation.com is one of my clients, and they sell T-shirts that talk about working from home and stuff. They've actually been a thing since way before all of this
Oh,
happened.
they must be doing really well right now.
They
Jeff
are
looks like
incredibly
he's
busy.
Jeff, what happened? Jeff, what happened to you, man? It looked like your background mugged you for a second. Like,
I used this one the other day, and they said your dog doesn't look healthy.
Nice.
I feel like I want to film like an old style episode of Doctor Who with these backgrounds.
Do it.
I got
Do
the
it for
I got the
next
bowler.
month.
I can't though because I was gonna wear the bowler, but I have this headset. Can't go around the bowler because you know the
I
brim.
had somebody that made a video of themselves interrupting themselves in a meeting. So
Oh yeah, that was
Liam did that.
video background. I like that.
Yeah, Liam did that for one of his classes, and he just kept playing it until somebody noticed, and he didn't say anything because he's in like a big class. So
Oh.
he evidently did that.
Did the other guy have like an evil goatee? You know, so it's like his evil version. That bit never
Did
gets
anyone
old.
else bring a show and tell while we're?
I'll be brief.
Camera.
Oh.
I got this last year from work. I've been at work 15 years. Well, last year was 15 years. This year 16 years. And I'm still learning how to use it. I mean, I have it all charged and stuff. But
What is it?
it's a camera. Canon camera. It's really small. Incredibly small. I mean, it's. But I just didn't have time to learn it. I mean, because I've had it for at least a year. But since we have all this lockdown stuff, and maybe just take some time to learn how to use it.
Sounds
But
good.
it's really, yeah. And it also has Wi-Fi connection, but I don't know how to connect it to the Wi-Fi. There's a huge instruction book that came with it.
Well,
Nobody
take
ever
one thing
reads
at a
those.
time. Yeah.
Let's talk about technology real quick. I got one of these things. You guys know what this is?
Oh, the
Oh
iPod.
yeah, I got the first one ever.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
It weighs like 5 pounds.
This is a 1G iPod Nano from like 15 years
I
ago.
mean, that's my iPhone is actually hooked to the radio station playing the music right now.
You know what's funny is
Wait,
the
Ari.
older ones still have like 10 times storage. And the new,
That's what I wanted to ask you. Like, I have one of the original ones, and it needs to be fixed. But they're
So it apparently works. I plugged it in like a few years ago, but you know, it's original 4 gig of storage space.
They can't be
4
fixed.
gig, yeah.
it is
Yeah.
designed not to be fixable.
can't be fixed.
Someone can do
Well
it, but
Yeah.
they made sure a long time ago they want you to buy a new one.
Robin, it can't be fixed. Mine died in November after 10 years.
Wow.
But I have a.
But there is a website called brokenipod.com or where they say they can fix any of them.
It can't. It basically it's almost like a catastrophic error. It completely.
Yeah.
Well, Apple really pissed me off because I loaded all my CDs and everything in, and I got rid of them all. And then as they upgraded, I still don't have access to my library. Like, I don't know.
Weird
Yeah.
that Apple would do something like that. Breaking news: Apple screws over its customers.
Well,
Yeah.
we did something similar, but all we got rid of were the jewel cases, and we just put all the CDs into little paper envelopes, and they take up about a tenth the space.
That was smart.
Yvonne, you were saying something?
Oh yeah, this is my iPhone. I don't have an iPod, but this is the closest thing.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah, they don't
all-
make iPods anymore.
No, they do. iPod Touches, I
Yeah.
still
What?
iPod Touches, I still want. They don't have as much storage, but basically, if you want to have the functionality of an iPhone without paying for the phone service, the iPod Touch, because I have an old iPad, I want all three. I have an Android phone, a PC, and an iPod laptop, so I'm just literate, you know? But the iPad is an old one. I can't see Netflix on it, but you know what? I'm still holding on to it. They're not going to make me buy a new one. It still works for the basic stuff.
So one of the things in my home shopping network might be the original AOL CDs that came in the mail for AOL mail, because I have those in my basement.
Do they work with something?
Steve,
No.
I'm gonna go. Have a great
No,
month.
they're just a collectible. Like a necklace.
See you next
Well,
month.
let me end.
See you,
recording.
Bruce.
Everybody wave goodbye.
Oh, Bruce has to go to the
Recording.
beach. Bye, Bruce.
Bye, Bruce.